Fatherhood and Mental Health. Navigating the Pressures of Being a Dad. Written and published by Ciro Irmici. Feel free to subscribe for more content. Now let's get into the book. Introduction. The Quiet Struggle of Fatherhood. Fatherhood is often celebrated as a joyful and life-changing experience. The first steps, first words, and shared moments with your child are priceless memories that shape a man's life. Yet, behind these cherished milestones lies a quieter, more complex reality that many fathers hesitate to discuss: the mental and emotional challenges that come with being a dad. For many men, the pressure to provide, protect, and always appear strong creates a hidden burden that weighs heavily on their mental well-being. Fathers, much like mothers, experience stress, anxiety, and even depression, but often in silence. Society expects men to man up, be stoic, and keep their struggles to themselves. As a result, many fathers find themselves wrestling with emotional isolation, financial stress, and the overwhelming responsibility of balancing their roles as both caretakers and breadwinners. This book seeks to shine a light on those quiet struggles. It's not about painting fatherhood as a negative experience, but about acknowledging the real, often unseen challenges that come with it. When men feel unable to talk about their mental health, they may face burnout, strained relationships, and a disconnection from their sense of self. These unspoken difficulties not only affect the fathers themselves but also ripple through their families, affecting their children and partners. In today's world, the definition of what it means to be a good father has evolved. Modern fathers are expected to be emotionally available, supportive, and involved in every aspect of their children's lives. However, that shift comes with its own set of mental health challenges. How do you balance being a hands-on dad with the traditional role of provider? What happens when the pressures of work and family life collide, leaving you feeling stretched too thin? And where do fathers turn when they need support? This book explores the mental health journey of fatherhood, from the stress of financial pressures to the emotional struggles of balancing work and family. We'll discuss real, practical ways to cope with these challenges, break the silence, and find strength in vulnerability. Most importantly, it will remind fathers that they are not alone in their struggles, and that taking care of their mental health is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom and strength. By the end of this journey, you'll gain a deeper understanding of how to manage the pressures of fatherhood without sacrificing your mental well-being. Together we'll explore how fathers can thrive, not just survive in their role, and find balance, support, and ultimately peace. Chapter 1. The Weight of Expectations. Fatherhood brings with it a unique set of expectations that can feel like an invisible weight pressing down on a man's mental and emotional well-being. Society often sets rigid standards for what it means to be a good father. Whether it's the expectation to be the primary provider or the unspoken pressure to be emotionally unshakable, these ideals can be overwhelming. From a young age, many men are taught that their value comes from their ability to provide and protect. This provider role often extends into fatherhood, where men feel the pressure to support their families financially, emotionally, and physically. While being a strong, dependable presence for your family is noble, these expectations can lead to feelings of inadequacy, especially when life's inevitable challenges, job loss, financial strain, or relationship conflicts, disrupt this sense of stability. Societal and cultural expectations. Cultural norms often dictate how men should behave as fathers. In many societies, there's a clear-cut image of the ideal father. He's hardworking, emotionally tough, and always reliable. But this image is a one-dimensional stereotype that doesn't account for the real emotional and psychological complexity that comes with fatherhood. The pressure to conform to these expectations can leave men feeling trapped, unable to show vulnerability or admit when they're struggling. For example, men are frequently discouraged from discussing mental health issues, whether it's anxiety about raising a family, fear of not measuring up as a provider, or stress from juggling responsibilities. The phrase "man up" is often thrown around, reinforcing the idea that men should just cope silently. As a result, many fathers suppress their emotions, leaving them to fester beneath the surface. This can lead to frustration, isolation, and even depression. Balancing traditional roles with modern realities. While the traditional role of a father as the sole provider still holds weight in many households, modern fatherhood often requires men to play a more active role in day-to-day parenting. Many fathers today are expected to be involved in every aspect of their children's lives, whether it's helping with schoolwork, attending sports games, or simply being an emotionally supportive presence at home. This shift is undoubtedly positive, but it can also create tension for men who are trying to balance these evolving roles with the traditional expectations placed upon them. For example, a father who is deeply involved in his child's life may feel guilt when work obligations pull him away, while another father who is focused on providing financially might feel disconnected from his family emotionally. These internal conflicts can lead to self-doubt and an overwhelming sense of failure, no matter how hard a father tries to meet the various demands on his time and energy. Moreover, for stay-at-home dads or fathers who share caregiving duties equally with their partners, the experience can be even more challenging. These men may face judgment or criticism for not fulfilling the traditional breadwinner role, leading to feelings of inadequacy or shame. This emotional burden can erode mental well-being, as they try to navigate societal perceptions alongside their personal sense of fulfillment. How these expectations impact mental health. The weight of these expectations can have a profound effect on a father's mental health. Constantly feeling like you need to be everything can lead to burnout, anxiety, and depression. The fear of failure, whether it's as a provider, protector, or emotional support, can be paralyzing, leading to chronic stress that affects not only the father but the entire family. Many fathers struggle in silence, fearing that acknowledging their mental health challenges will be seen as a weakness. Yet, this inability to express vulnerability can worsen their mental state, creating a cycle of isolation and internalized pressure. When fathers don't feel like they can share their struggles, they often withdraw emotionally, which can strain their relationships with their partners and children. Fathers may also experience physical symptoms of stress, such as fatigue, headaches, or digestive issues, as their bodies respond to the mental and emotional toll of trying to meet these high expectations. Left unaddressed, these stressors can lead to more severe mental health conditions like depression or anxiety disorders. Strategies for coping with the pressure. Recognizing that these societal and cultural expectations are often unrealistic is the first step toward managing the mental health pressures of fatherhood. Here are some strategies that can help fathers cope with these challenges. 1. Challenge the narrative. Fathers should work on redefining their own understanding of what it means to be a good father. It's not about meeting every societal expectation but about being present, supportive, and doing the best they can for their families in their own way. 2. Open up about mental health. Creating a culture of openness is crucial. Fathers need to feel safe discussing their mental health struggles, whether it's with a partner, friend, or professional. Seeking help is not a sign of failure but a sign of strength. 3. Practice self-compassion. It's important for fathers to recognize that they don't have to be perfect. Fatherhood is a journey of learning, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. Being kind to oneself can ease the pressure and reduce feelings of inadequacy. 4. Prioritize mental wellness. Regular mental health check-ins, whether through mindfulness, exercise, or therapy, can help fathers manage stress and maintain a healthier balance in their lives. 5. Build a support network. Fathers should seek out other dads or support groups where they can share experiences and find solidarity. Knowing that others are facing similar challenges can provide much-needed relief and a sense of connection. By acknowledging and addressing the weight of these societal and cultural expectations, fathers can begin to lighten the emotional load they carry. The key to thriving in fatherhood lies in redefining what success looks like and allowing room for imperfection, vulnerability, and self-care. Chapter 2. Provider Pressures, Financial Stress and Mental Health. One of the most significant sources of stress for many fathers is the pressure to provide financially for their families. While this responsibility is often embraced with pride, it can also become a source of immense anxiety and mental strain. The traditional image of the father as the primary breadwinner persists in many cultures, even as household roles have evolved. The weight of being expected to provide stability, comfort, and security for a family can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially in an uncertain economy or during personal financial challenges. The link between financial responsibilities and anxiety. Money problems are one of the leading causes of stress for people worldwide, and fathers are no exception. The fear of not being able to provide enough for one's family can lead to chronic anxiety. From paying bills and saving for the future to affording healthcare and education, fathers may feel that their worth is tied to their ability to maintain financial security. Even in households where both parents work, many fathers still feel an ingrained responsibility to be the primary provider. This can be exacerbated by societal and cultural expectations, where men are often judged by their financial success. For fathers who struggle with job insecurity, debt, or economic hardship, this pressure can lead to sleepless nights, a sense of failure, and a deepening fear of letting their families down. The emotional toll of the provider role. The pressure to meet financial obligations can have a profound impact on a father's mental health, often creating feelings of shame, inadequacy, and isolation. When a father feels like he is falling short, whether it's due to a layoff, an unexpected expense, or simply the rising cost of living, He may internalize these struggles, fearing judgment from his partner, family, or society. This emotional burden can lead to a cycle of negative self-talk. Fathers may begin to question their self-worth, seeing their financial struggles as personal failures rather than circumstantial challenges. This type of thinking can fuel anxiety and depression, further complicating their ability to cope with everyday stresses. Fathers who are financially struggling might also avoid discussing their concerns with their partners, not wanting to worry them or appear incapable. This emotional bottling up can cause communication breakdowns in relationships and increase a sense of loneliness, as fathers try to shoulder the burden on their own. The result can be a growing disconnect, not just from their partners but also from themselves. How the pressure to provide affects self-worth. For many fathers, their identity and self-worth are deeply connected to their role as providers. When financial difficulties arise, this can lead to a crisis of self-identity. If a man defines his success by his ability to provide materially, any challenge to that can feel like a personal failing. In addition to this internal struggle, men may also face external pressures, such as judgments from extended family or friends. Fathers may feel a sense of embarrassment if they can't keep up with societal expectations of what it means to be a successful man. This can lead to fathers working longer hours or taking on additional stress in an effort to compensate, which only worsens their mental and emotional state. This connection between self-worth and financial status can become toxic when fathers feel trapped in a cycle of working more and sacrificing their well-being in the process. Many fathers find themselves sacrificing personal time, hobbies, and even their physical health to keep up with financial demands, leaving little room for self-care or emotional recovery. Strategies to manage financial stress without sacrificing mental well-being. The good news is that financial stress, while heavy, can be managed with the right strategies and mindset. Fathers don't have to sacrifice their mental health in their pursuit of providing for their families. Here are some key strategies that can help. 1. Open communication with your partner. Financial challenges are not a burden that should be carried alone. Open, honest conversations with your partner about your financial situation can help relieve some of the pressure. By working together to create a financial plan, you can reduce anxiety and foster a sense of teamwork, instead of isolation. 2. Realistic financial planning. Creating a budget and setting realistic financial goals can provide a sense of control over your financial situation. Many fathers feel stressed because they're uncertain about where their money is going or how they'll cover future expenses. By taking proactive steps, such as saving for emergencies or cutting unnecessary expenses, you can reduce financial anxiety. 3. Redefining success. It's important to shift the narrative around success. Being a good father isn't just about providing material wealth. It's about emotional support, presence, and love. Fathers need to remind themselves that their worth is not defined solely by their income or financial status. 4. Seek professional help when needed. If financial struggles are overwhelming, it's okay to seek help. A financial advisor can provide practical guidance, and a therapist can offer emotional support. Combining these resources can help fathers manage both the financial and emotional challenges they face. 5. Building a support network. Talking with other fathers who face similar financial pressures can be incredibly helpful. Support groups or informal meetups can provide a safe space for fathers to share their experiences and learn from one another. 6. Mindfulness and stress management. The practices such as mindfulness, meditation, or even regular exercise can help manage the day-to-day stress that financial pressure brings. These techniques can provide clarity and help fathers avoid becoming overwhelmed by stress. The long-term benefits of managing financial stress. Learning to manage financial stress doesn't just benefit the father, it benefits the entire family. When fathers are less overwhelmed by financial concerns, they can be more present, both physically and emotionally, for their partners and children. Children benefit greatly from having fathers who are mentally and emotionally healthy, as they can model healthy coping mechanisms for their kids. Moreover, maintaining mental health in the face of financial pressure sets a positive example for children, teaching them that it's okay to face challenges and ask for help when needed. Fathers who manage their mental health also foster stronger relationships with their partners, reducing the likelihood of conflict and promoting a more stable home environment. Fathers must remember that they are not defined by their ability to provide material goods alone. Emotional availability, love, and support are just as important, and sometimes even more so, in shaping a healthy, happy family. By acknowledging the pressures of being a provider and taking steps to manage financial stress, fathers can protect their mental health and cultivate a healthier, more balanced life for themselves and their families. Chapter 3: Work-Life Balance. Juggling fatherhood and career. Fatherhood brings an immediate, unrelenting need to balance two worlds, work and family. Many fathers find themselves pulled in opposing directions, striving to succeed in their careers while also being present at home. This dual responsibility can create significant mental strain, as fathers may feel like they are never giving enough to either side. The pressures of modern life often leave fathers struggling to find a healthy balance, leading to burnout, frustration, and guilt. The mental toll of balancing work and family. For many fathers, work represents stability and the ability to provide for their families, but it also often comes with long hours, stress, and high expectations. The workplace rarely offers the flexibility needed to prioritize family, which leaves many fathers feeling stretched too thin. The mental toll can be substantial, leading to feelings of failure on both fronts, at work and at home. This constant juggling act leaves fathers exhausted, and the fear of falling short can amplify anxiety and depression. The mental load of trying to be perfect in both spheres can result in burnout, as fathers rarely take the time for self-care or mental recovery. The impact is not just internal. Strained work-life balance often leads to tension in relationships. Partners may feel neglected, and children may sense their father's emotional unavailability, deepening the guilt many men already carry. Time management, the struggle for presence. The heart of the work-life balance challenge lies in time. Fathers often feel like they never have enough of it. Whether it's missing out on milestones due to work commitments or bringing work stress home, time management becomes a significant mental health issue. Many fathers struggle with the idea that they must be always on, at work to advance their careers while also being fully present at home. This impossible standard can lead to feelings of inadequacy, no matter how much effort they put into both areas of life. Fathers also face the societal expectation that men should work tirelessly, sacrificing personal time to climb the career ladder. This leads to long hours that cut into family time, and fathers may feel as though they are constantly failing to meet the needs of both their employers and their families. Protecting mental health in a high-stress environment. The first step toward managing work-life balance is recognizing that it's okay to set boundaries. Many fathers believe they have to meet every demand from both work and home, but establishing clear, healthy boundaries is crucial to protecting mental well-being. Small adjustments, such as creating a consistent routine or designating family time each day, can provide structure and help fathers feel more in control of their schedules. It's also essential to prioritize tasks and accept that perfection in both spheres is unattainable. By focusing on what's most important, fathers can reduce unnecessary stress. Fathers should also seek flexibility in their work environments when possible. Many companies are becoming more open to flexible working hours, remote work, or hybrid models. Open communication with employers about the need for balance can often lead to more manageable work expectations. While work is essential, so is mental and emotional well-being. Fathers need to give themselves permission to prioritize their health and happiness, knowing that doing so will ultimately benefit their families as well. Regular breaks, hobbies, and downtime can rejuvenate the mind, allowing fathers to return to both work and family with more energy and focus. By finding ways to manage time more effectively and setting boundaries, fathers can reduce the mental strain of balancing work and family, creating a healthier and more fulfilling life for themselves and their loved ones. Chapter 4. The Emotional Disconnect. Men and Vulnerability. For many fathers, one of the greatest challenges in maintaining their mental health is navigating the cultural expectation that men should remain emotionally stoic. The concept of vulnerability, expressing feelings, fears, and emotions openly, is often seen as a sign of weakness, particularly in men. Fathers are frequently conditioned to hide their struggles, keeping up an appearance of strength even when they're feeling overwhelmed or uncertain. This emotional disconnect can create a barrier between fathers and their families, and it often takes a heavy toll on their mental health. Cultural barriers to vulnerability. From a young age, men are often socialized to believe that showing emotions, especially fear or sadness, is unmanly. Phrases like "tough it out" or "man up" become ingrained in the minds of many boys, shaping how they later navigate emotional challenges in adulthood. By the time they become fathers, this cultural conditioning can make it difficult for men to admit when they're struggling, either to themselves or others. This reluctance to express vulnerability often leaves fathers feeling isolated, even within their own homes. The fear of being judged or seen as weak prevents many men from sharing their internal struggles, leaving them to cope with the pressure of fatherhood alone. This emotional distance not only impacts their mental health but can also strain their relationships with their partners and children. When fathers bottle up their emotions, they often experience heightened stress, anxiety, and depression. Without an outlet to process these feelings, emotional buildup can manifest in unhealthy ways, such as irritability, anger, or emotional withdrawal. In trying to maintain the image of being strong and unshakable, many fathers inadvertently create more distance from those they care about the most. How emotional suppression affects mental health. The suppression of emotions is particularly harmful to mental health. Fathers who internalize their stress or sadness often experience prolonged mental strain, which can lead to more severe mental health conditions over time, such as chronic anxiety or depression. Emotional suppression also raises stress levels, affecting physical health in the form of headaches, fatigue, or high blood pressure. Emotionally distant fathers may find it difficult to connect deeply with their children or partners, leading to feelings of disconnection or guilt. This cycle, of suppressing emotions, feeling disconnected, and then experiencing guilt, can worsen the father's mental state. Fathers may start believing they are failing both as parents and partners, even if the root issue lies in their inability to express vulnerability. The path to emotional vulnerability. Learning to embrace vulnerability is not easy, especially when society reinforces the opposite message. However, acknowledging and expressing emotions can significantly improve a father's mental health and relationships. When fathers feel comfortable sharing their struggles, they can create more meaningful connections with their families, reduce internal stress, and experience greater emotional relief. The journey toward emotional vulnerability often begins with self-reflection. Fathers need to allow themselves to recognize and validate their feelings. It's important to accept that having emotional struggles does not make them any less of a man or a father. On the contrary, expressing these feelings demonstrates emotional strength and resilience. Opening up to a trusted partner or friend can be an effective way to practice vulnerability. Honest conversations about stress, anxiety, or even the fear of failure can reduce the weight of those emotions. In fact, many fathers may find that their partners or peers are more understanding and supportive than they initially expected. For fathers who struggle with deep-seated emotional suppression, professional help, such as therapy, can offer a safe, non-judgmental space to explore their feelings. Therapy can provide the tools and strategies needed to break down the emotional barriers that have been built over time. Fostering emotional connections with family. Once a father begins to express his emotions more openly, it often transforms his relationships with his children and partner. Vulnerability allows for deeper emotional connections, enabling fathers to bond with their children in more meaningful ways. Children benefit from seeing their father as emotionally present, which fosters a sense of security and emotional intelligence in them as well. Being emotionally open with a partner also strengthens the relationship. Honest communication about feelings and struggles creates a partnership built on mutual trust and understanding. When fathers share their vulnerabilities, they give their partners the opportunity to offer support, leading to a more harmonious and balanced relationship. By learning to embrace vulnerability, fathers can break free from the emotional disconnect that society has long imposed. This shift not only improves their mental health but also enriches their relationships with those who matter most. Chapter 5. The Fatherhood Identity Crisis. Rediscovering Self. Becoming a father changes a man's life in profound ways, and with that comes a shift in identity. While fatherhood is deeply rewarding, it can also be disorienting. Many men find themselves facing what can only be described as an identity crisis, a sense of losing who they once were as they embrace the responsibilities and demands of parenthood. The challenge lies in balancing the new role of being a father with maintaining a sense of self beyond that role. The identity shift in fatherhood. Fatherhood brings with it an undeniable sense of purpose. The experience of nurturing and protecting a child can be both fulfilling and all-consuming. However, this shift often comes at the expense of a man's personal identity. Fathers may feel that they are no longer the individuals they were before their children were born, and that their personal goals, hobbies, and desires have taken a back seat. For many fathers, this shift can feel unsettling. Suddenly, the man who was once defined by his career, hobbies, or social life is now primarily seen through the lens of fatherhood. While embracing this role is part of the natural process of parenting, the lack of balance between personal and parental identity can lead to feelings of frustration or even resentment over time. Fathers may also feel societal pressure to sacrifice their personal ambitions in favor of family duties. This pressure can create a sense of conflict, as men struggle to reconcile their desire for individual fulfillment with their commitment to being present and responsible fathers. Losing and rediscovering a sense of self. It's not uncommon for fathers to experience a sense of loss when it comes to their former selves. The hobbies and passions they once enjoyed might feel out of reach, pushed aside by the daily responsibilities of parenting. This loss can lead to feelings of restlessness, dissatisfaction, or even depression. Fathers may begin to feel as though they no longer know who they are outside of their role as parents. However, it's important to recognize that this period of identity loss doesn't have to be permanent. Fatherhood doesn't mean giving up one's individuality, but rather integrating it into a new phase of life. Fathers who intentionally carve out time for themselves can rediscover parts of their identity that may have been neglected during the transition into parenthood. Strategies for reclaiming personal identity. Reclaiming a sense of self while navigating fatherhood is a critical part of maintaining mental health and emotional well-being. Fathers can take practical steps to strike a balance between their role as parents and their personal identity. Prioritize time for yourself. It's crucial to carve out dedicated time for personal activities, whether it's a hobby, exercise, or even just time to unwind alone. This allows fathers to reconnect with their interests and passions, preventing burnout and resentment. Set boundaries. Fatherhood is a demanding role, but it's important to set boundaries that allow space for personal growth. Communicating openly with your partner about the need for personal time can help both partners support each other's individuality. Continue personal goals. Fatherhood doesn't mean abandoning personal ambitions. Whether it's career development, learning a new skill, or pursuing a passion project, fathers should feel empowered to continue working toward their own goals, even if progress is slower. Reflect on your new identity. Rather than longing for the past, fathers can reflect on the ways in which their new identity as a parent has enriched their lives. Acknowledging the personal growth that comes with fatherhood can help bridge the gap between the old self and the new. The importance of balance. Finding balance between fatherhood and personal identity is essential for long-term mental health. Fathers who neglect their personal well-being often experience increased stress, dissatisfaction, and even depression. On the other hand, fathers who make time for themselves tend to be more present and engaged in their parenting role, as they aren't overwhelmed by the feeling of having lost themselves. This balance also sets a positive example for children. When fathers prioritize their own well-being and personal growth, they model healthy behavior for their kids, demonstrating the importance of self-care and individuality within the family dynamic. Fathers must also recognize that maintaining personal identity doesn't make them less dedicated to their children. In fact, when fathers nurture their own needs and interests, they are better equipped to handle the challenges of parenting with resilience and patience. Redefining identity as a father. Fatherhood presents an opportunity to redefine identity rather than lose it. Fathers don't have to choose between being a parent and being an individual. Instead, they can integrate both roles into a cohesive, fulfilling life. By finding ways to nurture their personal identity while embracing the joys and challenges of fatherhood, men can create a balanced, healthy sense of self that benefits both them and their families. This redefinition of identity is an ongoing process. As children grow, fathers will continue to evolve, finding new ways to integrate their personal passions with their role as parents. By prioritizing both aspects of life, fathers can feel whole, connected, and fulfilled, not just as dads but as individuals. In acknowledging and addressing the identity crisis that often accompanies fatherhood, men can find a renewed sense of self that enriches both their personal lives and their experience as fathers. By embracing both their individuality and their role as parents, fathers can thrive in a balanced and fulfilling life. Chapter 6. The Impact of Parenting Stress on Relationships. Parenthood brings immense joy, but it also introduces significant stress into relationships. For fathers, the pressure of balancing work, family responsibilities, and personal challenges often spills into their romantic relationships. As stress builds, communication can break down, emotional distance grows, and conflicts may arise. Understanding how parenting stress affects relationships is crucial to maintaining a healthy bond with a partner, while also preserving mental and emotional well-being. The strain on communication. One of the first areas affected by the stress of fatherhood is communication. As fathers juggle the demands of parenthood, work, and their own mental health, they may find themselves communicating less openly with their partners. Small frustrations can go unspoken, leading to a buildup of tension over time. Fathers may withdraw emotionally, either to protect their partner from their stress or because they are too overwhelmed to express their feelings. This lack of communication can create misunderstandings and distance in a relationship. Without open dialogue, partners may feel isolated from each other, each coping with their struggles alone. Fathers may begin to feel resentment or frustration, not necessarily directed at their partner, but as a result of the compounded pressures of parenting. Similarly, partners may feel unsupported or unsure of how to help, leading to further disconnection. Emotional disconnection and the role of stress. Parenting stress, especially when combined with work pressures or financial concerns, can lead to emotional disconnection. Fathers who feel overwhelmed by the responsibilities of their role may unintentionally become emotionally distant. This can manifest as irritability, withdrawal, or a lack of interest in activities that once brought joy, including spending time with their partner. Emotional disconnection is often a coping mechanism, as fathers try to manage their stress internally. However, this distance can be misinterpreted by partners as a lack of care or attention, further straining the relationship. Over time, this emotional gap can grow, leading to feelings of isolation on both sides. The mental load of parenting can also reduce the time and energy fathers have for nurturing their romantic relationship. When most of their energy is spent on managing the needs of children or work, there is often little left for a partner, which can lead to a weakening of emotional intimacy. The cycle of stress and conflict. When communication and emotional connection weaken, conflicts often arise. Parenting is stressful, and when both partners are exhausted, small issues can quickly escalate into arguments. The stress of parenting can amplify feelings of frustration, making it easier for disagreements to turn into larger conflicts. These conflicts in turn create additional stress, fueling a cycle that can be hard to break. For many fathers, conflict can feel like another failure. The expectation to have it all together, as both a father and a partner, can lead to internal pressure to avoid arguments. However, unresolved issues only increase tension, making future conflicts more likely. Fathers may feel trapped in this cycle, unsure of how to reduce the stress while maintaining a healthy relationship with their partner. Maintaining a strong relationship amidst stress. While parenting stress can strain relationships, it doesn't have to cause long-term damage. There are ways to maintain a strong, healthy connection with a partner, even in the face of the challenges fatherhood presents. Prioritize open communication. Clear, honest communication is essential for maintaining a strong relationship. Fathers should share their feelings, fears, and frustrations with their partners, rather than trying to manage everything alone. By talking openly, couples can work together to address challenges and support each other. Carve out time for connection. Amidst the chaos of parenting, it's easy for romantic relationships to take a back seat. Fathers should prioritize time for their partner, even if it's as simple as a few minutes of meaningful conversation at the end of the day. Regular check-ins, date nights, or shared activities can help maintain emotional closeness. Practice patience and understanding. Both partners are likely feeling the strain of parenthood, so it's important to practice patience and understanding with each other. Recognizing that stress is normal and that both partners are doing their best can help reduce the tendency to place blame or escalate conflicts. Seek professional help if needed. If parenting stress is significantly affecting the relationship, seeking counseling or therapy can be a valuable tool. A neutral third party can help couples navigate their challenges and offer strategies for maintaining a healthy, supportive relationship. The role of support networks. One of the most effective ways to relieve parenting stress and its impact on relationships is by building a strong support network. Fathers often feel like they need to handle everything themselves, but reaching out to friends, family, or support groups can reduce the burden. Having others to lean on during challenging times can help fathers feel less isolated and give them the mental and emotional space needed to strengthen their relationship with their partner. A strong support network can also provide practical help, such as babysitting or assisting with household tasks, allowing fathers and their partners to spend more time focusing on their relationship. By reducing some of the external pressures, fathers can maintain a healthier balance between their role as a parent and as a partner. Parenting stress is a normal part of fatherhood, but it doesn't have to erode relationships. By prioritizing communication, emotional connection, and support, fathers can navigate the challenges of parenting while maintaining a strong, fulfilling partnership. Chapter 7. Postpartum Depression in Fathers, the Overlooked Reality. When people think of postpartum depression, they often associate it with mothers. However, fathers can also experience postpartum depression, a reality that remains largely overlooked and misunderstood. The transition to parenthood is a major life event for both partners, and while fathers may not experience the hormonal shifts that mothers do, they are equally susceptible to the emotional and psychological challenges that come with the arrival of a new child. The lack of awareness and societal stigma surrounding paternal postpartum depression often leaves men to struggle in silence. Understanding paternal postpartum depression. Postpartum depression in fathers, sometimes referred to as paternal postnatal depression (PPND), is a condition that affects a significant number of new fathers. While it may manifest differently than in mothers, the core symptoms, sadness, anxiety, irritability, and feelings of hopelessness, are the same. The condition often begins within the first few months after the birth of a child, a time when fathers are adjusting to their new roles and responsibilities. Fathers may experience depression for a variety of reasons, including changes in routine, lack of sleep, the stress of providing for a new family, and the fear of not being a good enough father. Additionally, fathers may feel sidelined during the early weeks of parenthood, particularly if the focus is primarily on the mother and the baby. This can lead to feelings of isolation and emotional detachment, both of which can contribute to depression. Signs and symptoms of postpartum depression in fathers. While depression can present itself in many ways, there are some common signs and symptoms that new fathers should be aware of. These include irritability and anger. Fathers experiencing postpartum depression may find themselves feeling unusually short-tempered or frustrated, often lashing out in ways that seem out of character. Or emotional withdrawal. A common sign of paternal postpartum depression is emotional detachment, not just from the baby but from the partner and other loved ones. Fathers may feel disconnected from their new role, struggling to bond with their child. Fatigue and exhaustion. While new parenthood is exhausting for everyone, fathers with postpartum depression may experience extreme fatigue, feeling overwhelmed and unable to cope with even small tasks. Anxiety and worry. Fathers may feel consumed by worry either about the baby's well-being, financial pressures, or their ability to fulfill their role as a father. Feelings of guilt or worthlessness. Many fathers experiencing postpartum depression feel as though they are failing their families, which can lead to feelings of guilt and hopelessness. Physical symptoms. Depression often manifests physically with symptoms like headaches, changes in appetite, or digestive problems. Recognizing these symptoms is important because untreated postpartum depression can lead to more severe mental health problems down the line, including chronic depression or anxiety disorders. It can also have a lasting impact on relationships and the overall family dynamic. The impact on relationships and parenting. Postpartum depression doesn't just affect the father, it can significantly impact the entire family. Fathers who are depressed may struggle to bond with their newborns, which can affect the child's emotional development. This disconnect can also strain relationships with partners, who may not understand what their spouse is going through or feel unsupported in their own parenting journey. Furthermore, depression in fathers often goes unnoticed or is dismissed as simple adjustment issues. Society tends to focus on the mother and baby during the postpartum period, leaving fathers to manage their struggles alone. The lack of discussion around paternal mental health means that many fathers feel ashamed to admit they're struggling, fearing they'll be judged or seen as weak. Fathers may also hesitate to reach out for help, believing that they should be able to handle the challenges of fatherhood on their own. This self-imposed isolation only worsens the depression, creating a vicious cycle of emotional withdrawal, guilt, and frustration. Seeking help and support for paternal postpartum depression. The most important step in managing postpartum depression is recognizing that it's a real condition that requires attention. Fathers should not dismiss their feelings as simply stress or exhaustion. If depression is suspected, seeking professional help is crucial. Therapy. Speaking with a mental health professional such as a therapist or counselor can provide fathers with a safe space to explore their emotions and develop coping strategies. Therapy can also help fathers understand the root of their depression and how to work through it in a healthy way. Support groups. Many fathers benefit from connecting with other men who are experiencing similar struggles. Support groups, either in person or online, can provide validation and encouragement, helping fathers realize they're not alone. Partner communication. Open communication with a partner is essential. Fathers should express how they're feeling and work together with their partner to create a supportive environment. This not only strengthens the relationship but ensures that both parents are better equipped to manage the challenges of parenthood. Self-care and rest. Depression can often worsen when basic needs are neglected. Fathers should make an effort to rest when possible, eat healthily, and engage in activities that provide relaxation and emotional relief. Small breaks for self-care can make a big difference in managing the mental load of fatherhood. Overcoming the stigma of paternal postpartum depression. One of the biggest barriers to seeking help for postpartum depression in fathers is the stigma surrounding men's mental health. Society often expects men to be strong and tough it out, especially when it comes to the challenges of parenting. This cultural narrative discourages fathers from admitting when they're struggling and prevents them from seeking the help they need. It's important for fathers to challenge these outdated ideas and understand that depression is not a sign of weakness. Experiencing postpartum depression does not mean that a father is failing. It simply means that he's going through a difficult adjustment, just like many new mothers do. By speaking openly about their experiences, fathers can help break down the stigma surrounding mental health and encourage others to seek help as well. Paternal postpartum depression is real, and it's time for it to be acknowledged and addressed. By recognizing the signs, seeking help, and engaging in open conversations about mental health, fathers can overcome this challenge and build stronger, healthier relationships with their families. Chapter 8. Raising Children with Special Needs, the Extra Burden. Parenting is already a demanding role, but for fathers raising children with special needs, the challenges are even greater. The physical, emotional, and mental demands of caring for a child with special needs can take a significant toll on a father's mental health. Fathers may face overwhelming pressure to support their child's development while managing their own feelings of worry, exhaustion, and uncertainty about the future. This chapter explores the unique struggles fathers experience in this situation and offers guidance on how to navigate them while maintaining mental and emotional well-being. The emotional challenges of raising a child with special needs. When a child is diagnosed with a special need, whether it's a physical disability, a cognitive delay, or a developmental disorder, it can be a life-altering experience for parents. Fathers often feel an intense mix of emotions: fear for their child's future, sadness for the loss of the normal experience they expected, and frustration with the new set of challenges they must learn to navigate. These emotions can be difficult to process, especially when society expects men to remain strong and composed in the face of adversity. Fathers of children with special needs may also struggle with feelings of isolation. While all parents face challenges, the unique demands of raising a child with special needs can leave fathers feeling disconnected from their peers, who may not understand their experience. This sense of isolation is compounded by the fact that much of the focus in caregiving situations is often on the mother, leaving fathers feeling overlooked or unsupported. The emotional weight of caring for a child with special needs can also strain relationships, both within the family and outside of it. Fathers may feel responsible for holding everything together, which can lead to burnout, irritability, and emotional withdrawal. Managing stress and avoiding burnout. Caring for a child with special needs requires a tremendous amount of energy, patience, and time. The stress of constant caregiving, coupled with the anxiety over a child's health and future, can easily lead to burnout. Fathers often push themselves to their limits, believing they need to handle everything on their own. However, this superdad mentality can be harmful, both to the father and to the family as a whole. Burnout occurs when stress reaches an overwhelming level, leaving fathers feeling physically and emotionally drained. It can manifest as extreme fatigue, irritability, feelings of hopelessness, or even physical symptoms like headaches and insomnia. For fathers raising children with special needs, the constant caregiving duties can make it difficult to find time to recharge, making burnout even more likely. To avoid burnout, it's essential that fathers take proactive steps to manage stress. Ask for help. It's important to recognize that caring for a child with special needs is not a one-person job. Fathers should seek support from family, friends, or professional caregivers to share the load and provide themselves with some much-needed relief. Practice self-care. Even small moments of self-care, whether it's taking a short walk, reading a book, or engaging in a favorite hobby, can help fathers recharge and maintain their mental health. Set realistic expectations. Many fathers feel pressure to do it all, but it's important to set realistic goals and expectations for both themselves and their child. Accepting that not everything will be perfect can reduce stress and allow fathers to focus on what truly matters. Navigating guilt and grief. Fathers of children with special needs often experience feelings of guilt or grief. They may feel guilty for not being able to fix their child's condition or for not being able to do more to support their partner and family. This guilt can lead to feelings of inadequacy, despite the immense effort they are putting into their caregiving role. Additionally, fathers may go through a period of grieving for the life they had imagined before their child's diagnosis. It's normal for parents to mourn the loss of the typical childhood experiences they expected, such as watching their child hit certain milestones or engage in activities like other children. Acknowledging and processing this grief is an important part of moving forward and embracing the new reality of parenting a child with special needs. It's important for fathers to give themselves permission to feel these emotions without judgment. Suppressing guilt and grief only intensifies the emotional burden. By accepting these feelings and seeking support, whether from a partner, therapist, or support group, fathers can begin to heal and focus on the joys and challenges of their new parenting journey. Building a support network. Fathers raising children with special needs often benefit greatly from a strong support network. Whether it's through connecting with other parents in similar situations or seeking help from professionals, Having a network of people to turn to can alleviate the feelings of isolation and overwhelm that many fathers experience. Support groups, both in person and online, can provide a space for fathers to share their experiences, frustrations, and successes. These groups allow fathers to connect with others who understand the unique challenges they face, providing both practical advice and emotional support. Fathers may also find comfort in talking with professionals, such as therapists or counselors, who specialize in helping parents of children with special needs navigate their emotions. In addition to emotional support, practical support is essential. Fathers should not hesitate to seek out resources such as respite care, special education programs, or government assistance to help ease the demands of caregiving. These services are designed to provide relief and support, allowing fathers to focus on their mental and emotional well-being. Embracing the rewards of parenting a child with special needs. While the challenges of raising a child with special needs are significant, so too are the rewards. Many fathers find that caring for their child brings a deep sense of purpose and fulfillment. The unique bond that develops between a father and a child with special needs can be incredibly strong, forged through the shared experience of overcoming obstacles and celebrating small victories. Fathers of children with special needs often become fierce advocates for their children, learning to navigate complex healthcare systems, educational challenges, and social stigmas. This advocacy not only benefits their child but also brings fathers a sense of empowerment and pride. By focusing on the positive aspects of their journey, fathers can find strength in the love and connection they share with their child. While the road may be challenging, the rewards are deeply meaningful, and the experience of parenting a child with special needs can lead to personal growth, resilience, and a greater appreciation for the small joys in life. Raising a child with special needs presents unique challenges, but it also offers profound rewards. By managing stress, seeking support, and embracing the journey, fathers can maintain their mental health and nurture a strong, loving relationship with their child. Chapter 9. The Isolation of Modern Fatherhood. Loneliness and Fatherhood. Fatherhood is often viewed as a collective experience, filled with moments of joy, family gatherings, and shared memories. However, many modern fathers find themselves struggling with feelings of isolation and loneliness. Despite being surrounded by family and responsibilities, they may feel emotionally cut off, not only from others but also from their own sense of identity. This chapter explores the causes of isolation in modern fatherhood and offers strategies for fathers to reconnect with their loved ones and themselves. The roots of isolation in modern fatherhood. Isolation in fatherhood can stem from a variety of sources. One of the main causes is the societal expectation that fathers should handle their responsibilities without showing vulnerability or seeking help. This pressure to figure it out on their own can leave many fathers feeling unsupported, as they internalize their struggles and avoid reaching out for assistance. Additionally, the modern world, with its increasing reliance on technology and social media, can exacerbate feelings of loneliness. While these platforms create the illusion of constant connection, they can also deepen feelings of isolation when real, meaningful human interactions are lacking. Many fathers find themselves scrolling through images of other families' seemingly perfect lives, feeling a sense of inadequacy and emotional distance. The shift in family dynamics also plays a role. In previous generations, extended families often lived in close proximity, providing a built-in support system for new parents. Today, many fathers live far from their relatives, leaving them without the immediate in-person support that previous generations could rely on. The isolation of primary providers. For fathers who are the primary financial providers, the pressure to succeed at work can compound feelings of isolation. Long hours and demanding jobs leave little time for socializing or engaging in activities that foster connection. Fathers may feel that they are missing out on important family moments while also being disconnected from their social circles due to work commitments. In many cases, this role can also lead to emotional isolation from their partners. Fathers may feel that their primary value lies in providing financially, rather than emotionally, which can cause a deep sense of loneliness, even within the family unit. The stress of meeting these expectations can result in fathers withdrawing emotionally, further deepening their isolation. Loneliness and stay-at-home fathers. Stay-at-home fathers face a different kind of isolation. While the role of primary caregiver is increasingly embraced by men, stay-at-home dads often feel stigmatized or judged by society. Many struggle to find a community of fathers in similar roles, leading to feelings of alienation. Social isolation is also a significant challenge for stay-at-home fathers, as their day-to-day interactions may be limited to their children or other parents at school or playgroups. Without adult conversation or meaningful social interactions, loneliness can quickly take hold. Fathers in this role may feel disconnected from their previous identity as career-driven individuals, further intensifying their sense of isolation. The emotional toll of isolation. Loneliness in fatherhood can have serious consequences on mental health. When fathers feel isolated, they are more likely to experience symptoms of depression and anxiety. Emotional isolation can also lead to a sense of disconnection from one's family, as fathers may withdraw from their partners and children, leaving them feeling more alone in the very environment where they should feel most supported. The lack of social support or close friendships can intensify these feelings. Fathers who don't have someone to confide in may feel that they are bearing the weight of their responsibilities alone, leading to an overwhelming sense of burden. This can create a cycle where isolation fuels negative emotions, which in turn lead to further withdrawal from social connections. Breaking the cycle of isolation. While feelings of isolation are common, they don't have to be permanent. Fathers can take proactive steps to reconnect with themselves, their families, and their communities. Reach out to others. One of the most effective ways to combat loneliness is to seek connection with others. Fathers can reach out to friends, family, or community groups to build a support system. Even a simple conversation can alleviate feelings of isolation. To prioritize relationships. Building and maintaining relationships requires effort, especially when juggling the demands of fatherhood. Fathers should make time to nurture friendships and spend quality time with their partners. Strong relationships provide emotional support and a sense of belonging. Engage in activities that foster connection. Whether it's joining a local dad's group, participating in a hobby, or volunteering, engaging in activities that involve others can help fathers feel more connected to their community. These interactions can also provide a sense of purpose outside of the home. Seek professional help if needed. If loneliness is leading to more serious mental health issues like depression or anxiety, fathers should seek professional help. Therapy can offer tools and strategies for managing feelings of isolation and improving emotional well-being. Reconnecting with family. One of the most important relationships to nurture during fatherhood is the one with family. Fathers who feel disconnected from their partners or children should make an effort to reconnect through small but meaningful actions. This might include setting aside time for family activities, engaging in deep conversations with a partner, or simply being present during everyday moments with children. Rebuilding emotional connections within the family can alleviate loneliness and help fathers feel more supported in their role. By sharing their experiences and feelings, fathers open the door for their families to understand and support them better. This sense of connection strengthens the family unit and helps fathers feel less isolated in their daily responsibilities. The role of technology in combating isolation. While technology can contribute to feelings of isolation, it can also be a powerful tool for connection. Fathers can use social media and online forums to connect with other dads, share experiences, and find support. These digital spaces can offer fathers a community of like-minded individuals who understand the unique challenges they face. However, it's important to strike a balance. Fathers should be mindful of how much time they spend online and focus on fostering real-world connections whenever possible. While online support is valuable, it should not replace in-person interactions that are essential for emotional well-being. Modern fatherhood can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be. By actively seeking out connections and nurturing relationships, fathers can overcome loneliness and build a strong support system for themselves and their families. Reaching out, whether to friends, family, or community, is the key to breaking the cycle of isolation and finding fulfillment in the role of fatherhood. Chapter 10. Fatherhood and Mental Health Recovery. Finding Strength in Vulnerability. Fatherhood brings immense responsibility, but also an opportunity for profound personal growth. For many men, the mental health challenges that come with fatherhood are real, whether it's navigating stress, balancing work and family, or managing feelings of isolation. The path to mental health recovery lies in embracing vulnerability, seeking support, and finding strength in the journey. This chapter explores how fathers can prioritize their mental well-being while continuing to be present for their families. Recognizing when to seek help. One of the hardest steps for many fathers is recognizing when to seek help. Men are often conditioned to deal with their struggles internally, pushing through stress and emotional challenges without reaching out for support. This self-reliance, while admirable, can also lead to burnout, depression, and anxiety if left unchecked. Acknowledging that help is needed is not a sign of weakness but one of strength. Fathers need to understand that mental health is just as important as physical health, and that seeking help is a responsible choice for themselves and their families. Whether through therapy, counseling, or talking to a trusted friend, opening up about mental health struggles is the first step toward healing. The importance of self-care in fatherhood. Fathers often put their families first, neglecting their own needs in the process. While this selflessness can be admirable, it's essential for fathers to understand that taking care of themselves is vital to being the best father they can be. Self-care is not selfish, it's necessary. Self-care looks different for every father, but it can include simple practices such as taking time for hobbies, exercising, practicing mindfulness, or simply resting when needed. These small acts of care can have a profound impact on mental health, helping fathers manage stress and regain emotional balance. It's important for fathers to communicate with their partners about their needs. By setting aside time for self-care, they can recharge and return to their families with more energy and patience. In the long run, this balance benefits both the father and the entire family. Rebuilding emotional connections. Recovery also involves rebuilding emotional connections, both within the family and outside of it. Fathers who have experienced emotional withdrawal due to stress or depression may feel disconnected from their partners and children. Reestablishing these connections is a crucial part of mental health recovery. Fathers can start by engaging in meaningful conversations with their partners, being honest about their struggles and seeking support. Emotional vulnerability within relationships strengthens the bond between partners, fostering a more open, understanding environment for both. Additionally, reconnecting with children through shared activities or simply spending time together can help fathers feel more emotionally present in their parenting role. Children benefit greatly from this emotional connection, and fathers often find that it brings them a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Building a support system. No one should go through mental health challenges alone, and fathers are no exception. Building a strong support system is key to recovery. Whether it's connecting with other fathers, joining support groups, or relying on close friends and family, having a network of people to lean on makes a significant difference in managing stress and maintaining mental health. Fathers should not hesitate to seek professional support as well. Therapists and counselors can provide the tools and strategies needed to navigate the emotional challenges of fatherhood. Whether dealing with postpartum depression, anxiety, or chronic stress, professional guidance offers an objective, non-judgmental space for fathers to work through their struggles. Tools for mental health recovery. Fathers can benefit from incorporating practical tools and strategies into their daily lives to support their mental health recovery. Mindfulness and meditation. These practices help fathers stay grounded and manage stress in the moment. By focusing on the present, fathers can reduce anxiety and emotional overwhelm. Journaling, writing down thoughts and feelings can be a powerful tool for processing emotions. It allows fathers to reflect on their experiences, identify patterns, and gain clarity about their mental state. Regular exercise. Physical activity is proven to reduce stress and improve mood. Fathers can benefit from incorporating exercise into their routine, even if it's just a short walk or a few minutes of stretching each day. Therapeutic practices. Fathers can explore various therapeutic practices such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which helps reframe negative thought patterns, or counseling, where they can openly discuss their challenges with a professional. The role of vulnerability and strength. One of the most transformative aspects of mental health recovery is embracing vulnerability. Many fathers may initially resist this idea, associating vulnerability with weakness. However, vulnerability is one of the most powerful tools for growth and connection. By being open about their struggles, fathers not only pave the way for healing but also create deeper, more authentic relationships with those around them. Fathers who embrace vulnerability are often surprised by the positive responses they receive from their partners, friends, and even their children. Sharing struggles invites understanding and compassion, which leads to stronger emotional bonds. Moreover, children benefit from seeing their fathers express emotions openly, as it teaches them that it's okay to feel and ask for help when needed. A legacy of mental wellness. As fathers work through their mental health challenges and begin to recover, they are also building a legacy of mental wellness for their families. By prioritizing their own mental health, fathers set a powerful example for their children, teaching them the importance of self-care, vulnerability, and emotional resilience. Fathers who model healthy coping mechanisms create an environment where their children feel safe to express their own emotions and ask for help when needed. This legacy of mental wellness benefits not just the individual father, but the entire family, fostering a culture of openness, support, and emotional well-being. Moving forward with strength and resilience. Fatherhood is a journey that requires strength, patience, and resilience. Mental health recovery is not about perfection but progress, taking small steps each day toward better mental and emotional well-being. Fathers who invest in their mental health are not only improving their own lives but also creating a stronger, more supportive environment for their families. As fathers move forward on their recovery journey, they should remember that there is no shame in seeking help or showing vulnerability. By embracing these truths, fathers can find strength in their experiences, becoming more resilient, present, and fulfilled in their role as both parents and individuals. Mental health recovery in fatherhood is a continuous process, one that requires self-awareness, support, and a commitment to growth. By embracing vulnerability, seeking help, and prioritizing self-care, fathers can thrive, not just survive, in their journey of fatherhood. Conclusion: the path forward, thriving in fatherhood. Fatherhood is one of the most rewarding and challenging journeys a man can undertake. As explored throughout this book, the mental health challenges fathers face are diverse and complex, from societal pressures and emotional disconnection to balancing work, family, and personal identity. Yet, despite these challenges, there is hope for every father to thrive, not just survive in his role. The key to thriving in fatherhood lies in acknowledging the mental health struggles that come with the territory. Many fathers have been conditioned to suppress their emotions, avoid vulnerability, and push through difficult times without seeking support. However, as we've seen, embracing vulnerability and asking for help are not signs of weakness. They are the foundation of resilience. Prioritizing mental health. As fathers continue on their journey, prioritizing mental health should be at the forefront. This involves regular check-ins with oneself, recognizing signs of stress, and being proactive in managing mental health challenges. Self-care is not a luxury, it's essential for maintaining balance in both life and fatherhood. Fathers must also remember that mental health recovery is an ongoing process. There will be good days and difficult ones, but it's the small, consistent steps, whether through therapy, mindfulness, or simply talking to a partner, that make a difference in long-term well-being. Building strong support systems. No father should walk the path of parenthood alone. Building and maintaining a strong support system is crucial for mental and emotional health. Whether it's through partners, friends, other fathers, or professional counselors, having people to lean on makes the challenges of fatherhood more manageable. These connections provide both emotional relief and practical advice, reminding fathers that they are not alone in their struggles. Fathers should also seek out communities that understand their experiences. Joining local or online support groups can foster a sense of belonging and validation, helping fathers feel more connected and supported in their role. Redefining strength in fatherhood. Strength in fatherhood is often misunderstood. Society tends to equate strength with stoicism and self-reliance. However, true strength lies in vulnerability, emotional openness, and the willingness to seek help when needed. Fathers who embrace these qualities not only improve their own mental health but also set a powerful example for their children, teaching them that it's okay to express emotions and ask for support. By redefining strength, fathers can break free from the outdated expectations that have long constrained them. This new definition empowers fathers to thrive, showing that resilience is built through connection, self-awareness, and emotional honesty. The lasting impact on families. When fathers take care of their mental health, the benefits extend far beyond themselves. Mentally healthy fathers are more present, patient, and emotionally available for their children and partners. They create a stable, loving environment where their children can grow and thrive. Fathers who model emotional resilience and self-care for their children leave a lasting legacy. They show their kids that it's okay to be vulnerable, that asking for help is a strength, and that mental health is something to be nurtured, not ignored. This positive example equips the next generation with the tools they need to navigate their own emotional challenges with confidence and strength. Moving forward with confidence. Fatherhood is a journey filled with both challenges and profound rewards. By addressing the mental health challenges head-on and embracing vulnerability, fathers can transform their experience into one of growth, resilience, and fulfillment. The path forward is not always easy, but it is one that leads to deeper connections, stronger mental health, and a more balanced, joyful experience of fatherhood. As fathers move forward, they should take with them the lessons of this book. Prioritize mental health, seek support, embrace vulnerability, and redefine strength. These principles will not only help fathers thrive but will also create a lasting, positive impact on their families for years to come. Thank you for taking this journey into fatherhood and mental health. By understanding and addressing these challenges, you are paving the way for a healthier, more fulfilling experience as a father. Remember, you are not alone, and it's okay to seek support as you continue on this path.